Years before the Trojan War, Greece faced another crisis. Helen, the most beautiful woman in Greece, had attracted nearly every king in Greece. But her father, King Odysseus, feared one thing above all else. If Helen chose one king, every rejected king might unite against him and start a civil war. So he turned to the cleverest man in Greece, Odysseus. Odysseus proposed a simple but brilliant solution. Every suitor would swear a scared oath that whoever Helen chooses as her husband, they would all respect her decision, and if anyone ever threatened that marriage, every king would return to defend it together. The plan worked. Helen married Menelaus, king of Sparta. Odysseus never wanted Helen. He believed beauty like her invited destruction, not peace. Instead, he asked to marry her cousin, Penelope. Years later, when the Trojan prince Paris took Helen to Troy, the oath every king had sworn finally came due. Odysseus tried to escape it by pretending to be insane, plowing his field with an ox and a donkey while sowing salt instead of grain. But when his infant son Telemachus was placed directly in front of a plow, he swore to save him. His act was exposed. The man who invented the oath had become its greatest prisoner. The war that followed lasted 10 brutal years. Thousands died, neither side could break the other. The Odysseus proposed a final gamble. The Greeks built a gigantic wooden horse, hiding their best soldiers while pretending to sail away. Believing the war was finally over, the Trojans pulled the horse into their city as a symbol of victory. That night, while Troy celebrated, the hidden soldiers emerged, opened the city gates, and allowed the Greek army to return. By sunrise, the city of Troy no longer existed. The Greeks had finally won, but Odysseus' greatest journey had only just begun. As the Greeks sailed home, the god punished them for the destruction of Troy. Violent storms drove Odysseus far from every known route. His men first encountered the lotus Easter, whose magical fruit erased every desire to return home. Odysseus dragged his men back to their ship before they forgot everything they loved. Soon after, they entered the cave of Polyphemus, the giant Cyclops and son of Poseidon. The monster trapped them inside and began eating Odysseus' men alive. Unable to overpower him, Odysseus relied on deception. He told the Cyclops his name was Nobody, got him drunk, then blinded him with a burning wooden stake. When Polyphemus screamed that nobody had attacked him, no one came to help. The Greeks escaped hidden beneath the giant ship. But as his ship sailed away, Odysseus couldn't resist revealing his real name. That single moment of pride changed everything. Polyphemus called upon his father, Poseidon, to curse Odysseus forever. The sea itself had become his enemy. Aeolus, keeper of the wind, tried to help by giving Odysseus a leather bag containing every dangerous wind. Only one gentle breeze remained to carry them home. After 9 days at sea, Ithaca finally appeared on the horizon. But the Odysseus slept. His crew believed the bag contained treasure and opened it. Every imprisoned wind escaped. Their ships were blown all the way back across the sea. Soon after, cannibal giants destroyed 11 of the Odysseus' 12 ships. Only one survived. The witch Circe then transformed his men into pigs until Hermes helped Odysseus resist her magic. Circe eventually became an ally and sent him into the underworld. There, the blind prophet Theseus gave one warning above all others. No matter what happens, never touch the sacred cattle of Helios. Odysseus listened, his men did not. Before reaching Helios Island, they survived the deadly song of the Sirens by sealing their ears with wax, while Odysseus tied himself to the mast just to hear their voices. Then came Scylla and Charybdis. One side held a 6-headed monster, the other a whirlpool, powerful enough to swallow an entire ship. To save everyone else, Odysseus chose the smaller horror, sacrificing 6 men to Scylla. Sometimes leadership means choosing which tragedy could be survived. Eventually, they reached the island of Helios. Food disappeared. Storms trapped them for weeks. While Odysseus slept, his starving crew broke the one command they had been given. They slaughtered the sacred cattle of the sun god. Helios demanded justice. Zeus answered with a single bolt of lightning. The ship exploded. Every member of Odysseus' crew died. Only one man remained alive. The sea carried Odysseus to the island of nymph Calypso. She offered him eternal youth, immortality, a life without suffering. He refused. Every day for 7 years, he chose a mortal life with Penelope over eternity with a goddess. Finally, Athena convinced Zeus to free him. Even then, Poseidon unleashed one final storm, destroying his raft. Half drowned, Odysseus reached the island of the Phaeacians. For the first time in years, strangers showed him kindness. They carried him safely home. 20 years after leaving Ithaca, the journey was finally over. Athena describes Odysseus as an old beggar. Only one soul recognized him immediately: his faithful dog, Agrus. After waiting 20 years for his master's return, the old dog looked at Odysseus one final time and peacefully died. Inside the palace, more than 100 arrogant suitors had taken over his home, believing the king would never return. Penelope announced one final challenge: whoever could string Odysseus' legendary bow and fire an arrow through 12 heads would become her husband. One after another, every suitor failed. Then the old beggar stepped forward. He strung the bow effortlessly. One arrow flew cleanly through all 12 axes. Silence filled the hall. Then Odysseus revealed himself. Beside his son Telemachus, he reclaimed his kingdom, ending the bloodiest day Ithaca had seen. Yet Penelope still needed proof. She ordered servants to move their marriage bed. Odysseus immediately objected. The bed had been carved around the trunk of a living olive tree. It could never be moved. No strangers could have known that. After 20 years, one war, monsters, gods, storm, and unimaginable loss, the king of Ithaca had finally came home.